Williams in their first-round series versus the Boston Celtics. After all, according to our Adrian Wojnarowski, there is a very real chance Williams returns for the Celtics-Nets series. As for the other defensive stalwart in question, that would be Ben Simmons, also working his way back from the back injury that's been plaguing him. Here's our Brian Windhorst earlier with the latest on Simmons' status.
I am told that Ben Simmons is targeting games 4, 5, or 6 for making his Brooklyn Nets debut. I mean, I got to say that I was taken aback by being told that information, and my response was, is he even playing 5-on-5 yet? And the answer to that is no, but the hope is by the end of the week he can ramp up to that. So that is still some time. We're still talking about over 7 days. It's a big ask, but I have to say that really for 7, 8 weeks now, I've heard nothing but pessimism on the Ben Simmons front, and that has switched dramatically in the last few days. So, I mean, right now, I would say I have to report that it is possible we will see Ben Simmons in this series against the Celtics.
Okay, I can't wait for the series. Game 4, 5, or 6. Ben Simmons hasn't played since last year's playoffs. Jay, I don't know why you're cracking up, but you can tell me why.
Molly, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
What?
It really is.
What is?
Did you hear what Brian Windhorst said?
Yeah.
My man is still not playing 5v5 basketball yet.
Yeah.
Right? He has not played a game since June 20th, Game 7 of last year. He's had back issues.
Yeah.
There have been mental issues for him that he hasn't talked about, but his camp has talked openly about to a degree. Now you're trying to tell me that you're going to drop him in Game 4, Game 5 of a playoff intensity series with the Boston Celtics, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who he's never played basketball with before. And that's supposed to make me believe that all of a sudden the Nets are going to be the favorite. Look, I think the Nets have a legit chance to win. But I think how you transition Ben Simmons back into basketball is very important. I don't think dropping him into Game 4 or Game 5 of a series against a guy who's a well-seasoned coach like Ime Udoka. Do you know what coaches would do? Okay, you want to drop him back in? You're going to try to hide him offensively? We're going to throw a double team at Kevin Durant. You haven't taken a shot. You haven't been in the spotlight in a year. Show me who you are. Show me who you are right now. Play at the highest level in an intensity series and show me who you are, Ben Simmons.
Okay, tell me if I'm being ignorant, but I look at it as like, what's there to lose? Put him out there for a few minutes. See what he can do.
So the ball, all of a sudden, it disrupts your whole offense.
Okay.
Right? The ball gets taken out of Kyrie Irving's hands. How is Kevin Durant going to play alongside a guy like Ben Simmons? Like, how does all that fit? My thing is, it's like doing a show with you guys. I can't come on and do one show, and it's our first time ever doing a show, and expect to understand your cadence.
Some people do, though. I'm just telling you, don't give the show example, because some people come up first time, and it's all good. It's smooth. There's chemistry, and I'm like, they got it.
I'm just saying, as a guy that's played along, it takes a minute to figure out continuity.
Yes, first take a little different than Celtics Nets first series. Fair.
I'm in agreement with him in this regard. It's almost disrespectful to the game to think that you could just drop a dude onto the court that hasn't played in 10 months and think that, okay, here we go. Here's the thing, though, I will say, look, could he play for 15 minutes and have some impact at all defensively? I think he could, because Jason Tatum, the last time he played the Nets, had 54 points. And Durant guarded him a lot in that game, but you got switches, you got smaller guys on that team, they're going to have to guard him. So to put a 6'10" guy out there to maybe for 15 minutes, could he have some impact on Jason Tatum? Yes, he could. But to your point offensively, they're showing these little clips. It's kind of like Zion. They show him dunking. Well, Ben, they show him, and he goes like this, his little floater hook in front of the rim, right, and dribbles the ball. Does one of these. I'm saying to myself, I could go get a dozen people from Presbyterian Memorial Hospital and post-op right now and bring him on the gurney to do what he's doing on these videos. So I'm like, well, okay, what does that correlate to him guarding people or being effective offensively? Specifically offensively, here's the thing. If I'm Ime Udoka and that guy sees the floor anywhere near the bonus, I'm putting him on the foul line. Mm-hmm. We all have our bugaboos. Some people it's clowns. Some people it's snakes. His is free throws in an important moment, okay? This
Mine's
is what
rats.
his worst nightmare. There you go.
Yeah.
We've all got it.
Bad place to live in New York City.
We've all got them. Mine are alligators, and I just bought a house in Florida. So, again, it doesn't make any sense
I would
whatsoever.
take that risk, though, to have the sunshine.
It doesn't, right. That's basically
a risk of an alligator for the sunshine.
Hey, listen, Mom, this was me making that decision.
We're all going to go somehow.
Listen, We all weigh certain things, but I'm saying that's his worst nightmare. So if he's on the court, now you don't start fouling guys to put him in a bonus because now it's harder to guard KD and Kyrie. I'm just saying if he's on the court and you are at 4 fouls, 5 fouls in a quarter, there's no way I'm letting Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving shoot the basketball. I'm taking the ball out of their hands because if I'm fouling Ben Simmons if he touches it, go to the line. You haven't been there in 10 months, and this is probably your biggest fear. Go make important free throws. Disrupt the flow of your offense. So offensively, major liability. Defensively, I do think he could have somewhat of an impact.
Let me try this again. If this is going to be more harm than good here, then why are the Nets even considering it?
I do not know. Like, I really do not know. Do you know how intense this atmosphere is going to be? Do you know who is coming back to Boston to play in the TD Garden? You know Kyrie is coming back to play against his former team.
I'm trying
to
get
incense,
tickets.
all this stuff. That environment is going to be so intense. And we talked about this before, Legs. There's so much on the line for Jason Tatum. This is an opportunity for Jason Tatum to say, no, I am no longer one of these guys waiting to burst into this upper echelon. I have arrived. I am going at Kevin Durant. So as soon as I see Ben Simmons on the floor, you talk about his back being bad. How are you going to defend Ben Simmons? Can you stay down in the stance? I'm going to attack you every single possession. I'm going to increase the intensity of the pace of the game. I want to see you run. I want to see how your conditioning is. And you know what? It also takes away from KD and Kyrie because how Ben Simmons needs the ball in his hands to be active offensively.
Better strategy, I think, for the Celtics would have been, all right, listen, they looked great the other night, those two guys. They played great offensively. Let's go to game 1, game 2 against Boston. Okay, whoa, Jason Tatum's averaging 37 points a game. We're down 0-2. Now, having not discussed it very much, all of a sudden you start talking about, hey, Ben Simmons might make an appearance in this series because at that point he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay?
Understood.
But going into the series to be talking about this, I don't understand it because we both agree the effectiveness is really questionable. And you're doing it right after a performance in which both of those guys look so good offensively. Again, you dig yourself a hole and Tatum's going off. Why not? Now Ben Simmons has everything to gain and nothing to lose. That might be a better strategy. But now we're already discussing this, and that's what we're going to be talking about now all the way through the first 2 games of the series every day. I think they would be better off as a surprise once you find out how are we going to do in this series against this guy guarding him.
The last thing I'll say on the subject matter is go back to your original point, Legs. Like in the game of basketball, Boston has been one of the top defensive teams the entire year.
Yeah.
I know losing Robert Williams hurts them defensively. But think about the 2 things that have happened in the past 48 hours. Now, one of them I think was a big deal, but now it's turning into a bigger deal. Bruce Brown going to the podium saying, well, they lost Robert Williams. We're going to attack Al Horford and Daniel Tice. Okay. Oh, you are. If you're Boston, okay. Now, I know people think, oh, that's something little, but we are petty. I'm a petty individual. You say something about me or about my team a year ago, I'll remember it when I play you. So that's one. Now you're saying you have the audacity to think that you're going to drop a dude in the middle of this series and that he's going to have an impact on our team. He's going to hurt us. So, like, all these things are additive pieces of motivation that I don't know why you even say stuff like that. You keep the element of surprise and you let that work to your advantage.
We may have buried the lead, by the way. Did they not just say Robert Williams might be coming back for this series?
Yes.
Man, I don't know how Jay's on record as picking the Nets in this series definitively.
How you feeling about
there
that?
you go. It's the second setup you had for me today, Legs.
How you feeling about that, big time?
Yeah, when you heard that, now's your out. Series hadn't started
Don't
yet.
you have season tickets to the Nets?
I do.
Do you have playoff
Unless you
tickets?
laid
I do.
money.
Molly, what angle are you coming at me from right now?
Talk about that, because
she's
my
all
dad's
working
a
the angle.
diehard Celtics fan, and I'm trying to make this happen. So I'm just letting you know.
Well, since I have to be
We'll
up
have a
every morning at 3
conversation
a.m.,
after.
I will happily
I'm
give you my
happy to pay.
tickets.
We'll talk
That's
about
big
it.
news, though, man. I
huge.
thought he was out most of the series. They're talking about him making an appearance early in the series. That is an enormous development for the Boston Celtics defensively.
And that changes everything for them because then there's no worry about because his feet are so quick laterally. He can help you on every pick and roll. He can come from the weak side and be that defensive presence. His sheer presence on the court alters shots at the rim.
Yeah, 4 offensive
So do you want
rebounds
to
a game,
change your
too.
pick now? Because I will allow you, because the facts have changed. Do you still want to stay with the Nets?
It's hard to go against KD and Kyrie.
Listen, I'm
though.
your boy.
You
I'm
know
your
how
boy.
I feel
You got a
about
soft
KI.
spot for both of
I
them.
do.
I'm going to give
And
you an
it's-
out right now. I'm your boy, man. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire like some people will. I'm
Listen,
going to
this
give you an out right
man,
now.
time out. This man's walking around with multiple pairs of Jordans. He's
I
like
won
the
a lot
debt
of bets
collector.
here. I won a lot.
Like, what
Stephen
are
A.,
you
I still
doing?
haven't gotten my Tom Ford suit. If he doesn't want to pay me with the suit, my bank account, I can send it to him and he could just transfer.
Zelle,
He can
Venmo,
wire
you're good?
Zelle.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he can
There's
just
a lot of ways
Venmo.
now.
There's ways to
He's
give me the
just
money.
going around-
Digital transactions
He's just going
work.
around cleaning up. Hey, guys, before we move on, though, seriously, with Ben Simmons, so would you just not play him at all? What about against the Bucks, against Giannis?
I wouldn't mind if they were able to get by this series, seeing how he kind of, once again, situation. If they're up 2-0, I get that. Going into the series, I don't think that's smart. But if you find a way, this goes to 7 and you win, I don't mind him working out for a couple days, going through practice. Let him get some reps. He hasn't even played 5-on-5 yet, Molly.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to throw somebody into a Game 4 scenario after playing 5-on-5 for 4 days?
Wendy had a great line. He said the only time this guy